The etiquette of taking one's man and scamming rich men is no new age phenomena by any means. In fact, it's possibly the oldest trick in the Book of City Girls. Giving the girls step-by-step instructions on how to pimp a ninja set rap duo JT and Young Miami on the 305 map. By setting some of the trendiest of trends we see today, y'all's favorite scamming monarchs would cease to exist if it weren't for the trailblazing diamond princess, TRINA. Otherly known as the Queen of Miami, Florida South Side, TRINA took over the 305 district in the 1998 feature, Nan, and continued her reign as the most classiest, explicitly vulgar female in rap for nearly 3 decades. Throughout her journey, TRINA has witnessed firsthand the highs and lows of the industry. Despite her visibility in hip-hop, TRINA herself still remains a debatable mystery, and with the alleged lies she's told over the years, it doesn't come as a surprise as to why. Her beef with fellow Florida rap representative Kaya, adventures with Trick Daddy, rumored bump and grind sessions with Missy Elliott, and a deal of losses. Let's take a further look inside the life and career of TRINA. Representing for the fine finessers, Katrina "Trina" Laverne first caught rap's attention when she, alongside Dade County's Trick Daddy, went head-to-head on their 1998 explicit track, Nan. The back and forth banter of each gender insisting that the other didn't know anyone of the same gender who could do the things better than either Trick or TRINA did. What started off as a happenstance would later turn into a musical dabble for TRINA, and eventually a full-blown career. But before TRINA came out the studio swinging, she was a willing participant in the Atlanta shenanigans of mid-90s Freaknik. Before that, she attended Miami's Northwestern Senior High School, where she'd come across brothers Maurice Young and Derek Harris. Killing the 8 count and majorette dancing had been her elective of choice, and upon graduating in 1992, real estate was her next move. However, her goals as an agent never did quite come into fruition, choosing to balance cosmetology school, the salon, and the pole instead. Stripping wasn't ideal, nor was it the end-all goal for her, rather a short stint to make ends meet. But neither was music, which she accidentally stumbled into when Maurice Young, aka Trick Daddy, persuaded a young Katrina to step up to the mic after she and a group of her friends visited him along with a few others on set of one of his music videos. Prior to the video shoot, TRINA dated Trick's brother Derek, aka Hollywood, up until his untimely death in 1994. As you'd expect, the loss devastated TRINA, who continued on her path of chasing the bag by any means. And just 4 years later, that sigh of relief came in the form of a hit single and Miami anthem. What was supposed to have been a fun studio session turned into Trick Daddy begging TRINA to feature on his upcoming single. Hesitance turned into reliance, and soon enough, TRINA was on set shooting her verse for her very first rap track. Nan Ninja hit the 305 in 1998, and the streets and club scene couldn't get enough of Trick and TRINA's He Said, She Said hard hitter. Circling the local avenues, Nan Ninja was released as the lead single from Trick's second studio album, www.thug.com, which proved to be a success, reaching number 62 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 3 on the Rap Songs chart. The gutter get-up would be responsible for propelling TRINA in the mainstream hip-hop spotlight, leading her to a record deal with Slip and Slide Records. A few years after going all the way off on Nan, TRINA released her debut album, which would eventually hail her as the Baddest Bee for years to come, and rightfully so. Debuting at 33 on Billboard's 200 and number 11 on the top R&B hip-hop albums chart, staying on Billboard for 39 weeks and the hip-hop charts for 49 weeks. The Baddest Chick confidently marked TRINA's arrival onto the sexually explicit rap scene, right along with the likes of Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown. Unlike Kim and Foxy, however, TRINA's appeal was a little too gutter to appeal to mainstream audiences. Her crossover could only cross over but so much, but that didn't stop her from taking Hood America by storm. Spawning off singles like its preceding name twin, The Baddest Bee, and Pull Over. The Baddest may be hot now, but at the time of its release, the single failed to chart, reaching 64 on the Hot R&B and Hip Hop chart. Its second single, however, did moderately well compared to the album's first release, reaching number 93 on Billboard's Hot 100 and 41 on the Rap Songs chart. The Baddest Bee opened the floodgates for critical reception, given that TRINA's style of rap was fairly new during that time. One critic of Entertainment Weekly stated that TRINA boldly positions herself as the new queen of randy hip-hop tales in which sex is a contact sport played by rival genders. By the time November of 2000 rolled around, the album had been certified gold by the RIAA, remained on Billboard's Hot 200 for 29 weeks, and sold over 700,000 copies in the US alone. Her streak as a solidified, raunchy sex symbol helped her when it came time to drop her second album, Diamond Princess. With only 2 projects under her belt, she'd go ahead and create her own record label imprint, Diva Enterprise, signing a then 19-year-old rapper, Lil Brianna. Diamond Princess did what the Baddest Bee couldn't, reaching a milestone on the Billboard 200, debuting at number 14. Collaborating with fellow trailblazer Missy Elliott for the album proved to be a good idea, but whilst TRINA and Missy were spitting verses in the stew, rumor has it that they were all swapping spit in and out of the studio. A pro at keeping her private life private, TRINA's done a great job taping off her personal life, and it still hasn't been revealed on exactly who spilled the beans. But all we know is Missy wouldn't be the only famous MC that's bisexual. Bi-curious? Whatever you want to call it, it's been confirmed that TRINA was a wild card back in the day. However, she has come out and denied any involvement in the Elliott dating pool. But we aren't too sure about that, but we'll take her word for it. TRINA had the early 2000s on lock, but as suggested in the beginning, a music career was not on her radar. In fact, she wasn't even interested in the music scene and lended her distinct voice as a favor for Trick Daddy's 1998 single, out of pure loyalty and fun. The streets of Miami, Florida messed with TRINA heavy, but of course there was pushback on just how explicit her overall image was, despite her male counterparts literally showing nude women all up and through their music videos. Remember Nelly's tip drill? Although the 90s were a time of the female MC, TRINA knew that within the rap game as a woman, the sexier you are, the more your approval rate amongst your male counterparts goes up. They don't want to see you in baggy jeans. They want to see you sexy because you a female. I'm a dude. I'm not learning nothing from you. I just want to see you. So whatever you're talking about, I probably don't really care. I just want to look at you, and whatever you're saying, it all sounds good to men. That's just real. That's just how it is. In a more controversial take, TRINA laid the foundation for that sector of modern-day feminism, where women took ownership of their sexualities without guilt. Her rebellion gave women the comfort to take ownership of their own sexualities, despite what that may look like to others. TRINA leading the New Age finesse movement. Now a solidified rapper, with the recognition comes the press and media speculations of TRINA's life aside from music. Her relationship with on-again, off-again Lil Wayne was hanging on by a thread similar to his dreads, and would even result in an engagement, matching tattoos, a joint single, Don't Trip, for her third album, Glamorous Life, and even a pregnancy that unfortunately ended in a miscarriage. Wheezy F baby, and the F stands for flop. In this case, that is. Wayne may have been a megastar by this point, but his popularity just wasn't enough to shoot the song to the top of the charts, and it failed to make much of any noise. It wouldn't be till TRINA would slow things down over an addictive R&B, featuring Kelly Rowland for her song Here We Go. This becoming her first and only top 40 hit. Peaking at number 16 on Billboard's Hot 100, The Glamorous Life propelled to number 11 on Billboard's albums chart. Replacing her usual uptempo rap for a more vulnerable yet signature TRINA sound proved to work in her favor, and almost a decade into her career, she was on top of the throne. In the midst of the buzz, TRINA would go on to share a little more personal information than she had before. I know black, I Dominican. Supposedly, TRINA was out here telling everybody willing to listen that she was half Dominican thanks to her dad, and Bahamian thanks to her mom, Vanessa Taylor. Still the Baddest, her fourth album yet very first top 10 debut, was a true testament to her longevity in such a one female at a time genre. 12 years deep, and TRINA was stepping on the other rap girlies' necks, pushing out more albums than most of them had made in the same time frame. While TRINA was occupied performing unlawful chiropractic treatments on her rap counterparts, Florida native Kaya was coming for her neck and everybody attached to it. Deeming TRINA a slinky neck beach, the Queen's Court self-elected judge Kaya has kept up the decades-long feud and had been waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. An old diss track by TRINA back when Destiny's Child still had 4 members is supposedly what antagonized the lethal dragging. If you've ever watched an episode of The Queen's Court, then you know the My Neck, My Back rapper never fails to viciously drag whoever falls victim to her verbal yet comical wrath. She even dragged Trick Daddy into the mix, insisted that TRINA raised an entire generation of hoes, and yes, I'm giving y'all the PG version. TRINA would later address Kaya's claims. When you girls or whatever you want to be are calling my name, you want to battle. You want to do all of this. First of all, make sure you have 10 hits. Make sure you have enough records. Make sure you're on my level if you think you want to go toe-to-toe with me, because you cannot. When asked again on Revolt TV's Drink Champs, TRINA informed viewers that this hadn't been Kaya's first time addressing her, and she was right. If I don't know you, I'm not entertaining or feeding into you. I'm from the streets, and when I see you, it's on sight. That's vibing, so I'm not going to be doing any of that. It's not really even a beef. I don't have beef with you, sweetheart. In the words of Cardi B, if a girl has a beef with me, she gonna have beef with me forever. Supposedly, Kaya's verbal attacks weren't so random after all. While yes, Kaya admits this is hip-hop beef purely for entertainment, she also dropped a bombshell that she helped write TRINA's first record, and the nickname that'll remain tied to her forever, the baddest chick, but never received a writing credit. Aside from music, apparently TRINA herself never received the memo about her real ethnicity, because according to her own father, newsflash sis, you're not Dominican. But you couldn't tell Katrina otherwise. Giving an interview with Latina magazine in 2012, come to find out TRINA never actually had a relationship with her dad, but knew he was of Dominican descent. She doesn't know anything about Dominican culture, can't speak a lick of Spanish, and will ride for the South in Miami all day, any day. Doesn't appear as though she's ashamed of her Black American ancestry whatsoever. However, according to her sperm donor, Dominican where? TRINA's own pappy came out of the woodwork to set the record straight about his daughter. I don't know where she got that from. Her pops wouldn't be the only one to call out TRINA's inconsistency regarding her nationality. Her own cousin also came out, reiterating TRINA's dad, and also had a few other not-so-pleasant comments to make. Her nationality isn't the only thing TRINA was caught slacking on. Apparently, her age really ain't her age. Wikipedia states that Katrina was born on December 3, 1978, which would make her 42 years old at the time of this video. In 2019, while making an appearance on the Angie Martinez show, Rambling and Ranting On, TRINA let it be known that her mom had her at age 17. Vernessa Taylor unfortunately passed away from cancer in 2019 at the age of 62, which would make her birth year 1957. If our math is mathing correctly, this would mean TRINA was born in 1974 and not in 1978 like she wants us to believe. In another interview while discussing her engagement to Wayne, she mentioned she was only 24 when they got engaged in 2005, which doesn't add up because that would mean she would have had to have been born in 1981. Her mother's death took a huge toll on TRINA, and that wouldn't be the last time she'd have to mourn the loss of a loved one. 6 years prior, TRINA's brother Wilbrent Bain Jr. was gunned down following a dispute with a friend. The tragic loss came just 5 years after he'd survived another shooting in 2008. 3 years after her mom's death, 17-year-old Tony Chester, also known as Baby Sugar, and TRINA's niece would also be gunned down in Miami in the wee hours of the morning after leaving a convenience store with her boyfriend. Miraculously, everyone wounded in the shooting survived, except for Tony. A few more miscarriages throughout the years would be added to TRINA's list of losses, and although she lost a potential daughter or two, she gained another, a goddaughter, Carisha Brownlee, most recognized for being half of the rap group City Girls. The familiar niche of the City Girls, scamming big ballers and bragging about their sex appeal with hits like Take Your Man, Act Up, How to Pimp a Ninja, Talk, Period, We Live, and more. It's more than evident Carisha was soaking up her godmom style of delivery, tone, and overall mannerisms when it came down to cultivating her own rap style. TRINA's influence doesn't just stop at the City Girls. Rappers such as Lotto and even Megan Thee Stallion are modern representations of TRINA's impact. Considered the most consistent female rapper in hip-hop, TRINA hasn't pumped the brakes on her career just yet, giving fans and those still wanting a piece of the Diamond Princess an abundance of music compared to some of the peers on her level. Despite decades passing by, the genre of female rap would take a mainstream hiatus, and of course, we can't talk about female rap without mentioning Nicki Minaj, who evidently revived the ideal of the commercial female rapper. Since Nicki's reign, a new wave of rap girls have been brought to the forefront. some staying around more seasons than others. And although the new microwavable generation of rap girlies have come and gone walking through those forever rotating industry doors, TRINA, whether her music is selling like it once used to or not, has imprinted herself in hip-hop's notable walls of unsung and debatable icon. In 2018, she joined the cast of Love and Hip Hop Miami, along with her longtime partner in crime, Trick Daddy, and they continue their journey on 99 Jams with the Trick and Trina Morning Show, or TNT. The show would last for only 2 years, but during that time, TRINA would have a resurgence in the media. That same year, she went toe-to-toe with rapper Eve on Triller's Versus. In 2022, she was given the key to the city of Miami, was honored at BET's Hip Hop Awards, joining only 3 other female acts to do so: MC Lyte, Salt-N-Pepa, and Lil' Kim. And Spotify-owned sports and pop culture site The Ringer named The Baddest Chick as the 20th greatest Southern rap album of all time. Keeping up with the times, as TRINA grows older, her appeal upgrades in style, preferring to keep it classy while keeping it street. The queen of the 305 continues to encourage unity within the female rap sphere and continues to remain the baddest chick. Is it about time we give TRINA her flowers? Let us know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.